This is what I did after I discovered that my children's python laid a clutch of eggs.
The first thing I need to do is gently remove her from the eggs, being extra careful I don't hurt her or damage the eggs.
As always, after I remove the mother from the eggs, I'll mark them with a piece of charcoal so I know which way is up in case the eggs accidentally roll during incubation. It looks like she laid a total of 6 eggs, but 2 of those eggs are slugs. At first glance, these 4 look healthy.
The first slug was that weird yellow looking one that I pulled in the beginning of the video, and this is the second one that she had coiled up with the rest of the clutch.
The clutch is small, but I'm going to use a full-size egg box to ensure that it gets enough airflow and circulation. Here you can see how the slug is much smaller and it's a different color than the fertile egg. I'll candle the eggs in a moment and then we'll be able to confirm that it is a slug. As always, when I candle the eggs, I'm looking for an embryo and a strong network of blood vessels inside of the eggshell. From what I can tell right now, all of these eggs look healthy. Except for this one, you can see that it's all yellow inside and there's no network of veins. So it is indeed a slug and there's no baby snake growing inside.
These little ones should be hatching in about 45 days and I'm excited about it.
This clutch of children's python eggs is on day 7 of incubation.
Children's pythons are amazing. They give off that big python energy, but they come in a small, compact size.
This little beauty laid 4 good eggs for me. After removing the mother from the eggs, I got them marked and transferred them into my egg box. They'll incubate at 89 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 to 50 days. They're on day 7 right now, so let's check up on them.
Right now, the baby snake is probably about a half an inch or a little more than a centimeter long, but its heart is already beating.
Once the eggs are laid, the babies only have about 45 days to grow into a fully functional snake. Because snakes are precocial, meaning that they're born in an advanced state where they have all the abilities to hunt and survive on their own. They don't need their parents for anything. So the babies are growing rapidly.
And right now, these eggs are looking great, and I hope they stay that way.
I don't want the eggs to cool, so I'm not going to keep them outside of the incubator for very long. I cover the eggs with this plastic wrap to keep the humidity high inside of the egg box.
I'm going to get these eggs back in the incubator, but we'll check up on them again soon.
Our eggs are now on day 31 of incubation.
This clutch is from our children's python, and these eggs take about 45 days to hatch, so we're getting really close.
When many people hear the word python, they automatically think giant snake. But children's pythons are actually one of the smallest species of python in the world. Our girl laid 4 healthy eggs, and as you can see, they're starting to dent in. The eggs are denting in because the baby inside is consuming the yolk, and it's also probably losing a little bit of moisture.
Once I'm done candling these eggs, I'm going to add a little bit of water to the substrate to increase the humidity because I don't want these eggs drying out within the last 2 weeks.
The way I like to check for the proper consistency of moisture in the substrate is I grab a handful of it and squeeze it together. If there's enough moisture, it should stick together, but if it drips water, it's too much moisture. It's clumping together, but it seems a little dry to me. So I'm just going to add a little more water. These snakes are a lot of fun to hatch, but after hatching, they can be a little tricky to get eaten, and they are fantastic escape artists.
In about 2 weeks, we should see some new baby snakes.
This clutch of eggs is on day 39 of incubation.
I expected these eggs to hatch around day 45, but when I checked up on them today, I got a surprise.
I discovered that one of the snakes had already hatched and was sitting on top of the other eggs. These snakes always seem to surprise me. Whether they're hatching early or escaping from their enclosures, children's pythons are always an adventure to hatch. So we have one that crawled out of the egg. Let's see how the other ones are doing.
It looks like the other 3 eggs have also pipped. Let's see if they're still inside or they already escaped.
This one is still inside and it looks pretty thick and healthy. Now that the eggs are hatching, it becomes really easy to pull the eggs apart. So I'll separate the eggs so we can keep a closer eye on each snake as they hatch. This egg has a little slice in it, but not much. So maybe we'll cut this egg open a little bit wider to check up on the snake. And this is the egg from the snake that already crawled out. And our 4th egg still has a little one inside. When I tear this egg open, you could see the yolk sac and the leftover yolk that the snake didn't absorb, which kind of seems like a lot, but the snake hatched and crawled out all on its own, so I'm not really too worried about it.
Last year we had some children's pythons that pipped and then passed away before they crawled out of their eggs, so this time I'm going to open them up and not take any chances.
The first one seemed to be healthy and was responding to my touch. Using a sharp pair of scissors, I slowly and carefully cut the next egg open to check up on the snake. Unlike the other snakes, this one only made a small pip inside of its eggshell. But after opening it up, it looks like it's healthy. And the last little one appears to be a little small, but it does look healthy and it is responding to me.
I'll give these little ones some time to crawl out on their own and I'll update you as soon as they do.
These children's pythons pipped the other day. Let's see if they're out of their eggs.
And as usual, as soon as they crawl out of their eggs, they start to climb.
Children's pythons are really good climbers and escape artists. If there's a way out, these little ones will find it. There were a total of 4 eggs in this clutch, and it looks like we have 4 snakes, so I don't think any escaped. There's 3 eggs in the egg box, but I already removed one, so we have 4 snakes and 4 eggs, so I think we're good. So now I'm going to put these snakes on a damp paper towel and wait for them to have their first shed.
After hatching, it takes them about 4 or 5 days to shed, and then they'll be ready to be separated into their own enclosures and offered their first meal.
These little snakes are absolutely adorable and a lot of fun to keep. But before they're ready for new homes, I have to get them eating consistently, which can be a little bit tricky. I'll first offer them a frozen thawed Pinky Mouse, but more often than not, they won't take that. After a few tries, I'll then offer them a live Fuzzy or Pinky Mouse. The heat and natural movements of the live mouse often gets them eating.
And then once they're established, I try to switch them over to frozen thawed. I'm going to get these little ones back in the incubator, but we'll check up on them again soon.
We're setting this little python up in its temporary enclosure.
A few days ago, our children's pythons hatched out of their eggs, and then they had their first shed ever, so now it's time to separate them into their own enclosures.
After shedding, these snakes look absolutely beautiful. Their pattern and color is now bold and vibrant, and they're probably starting to get hungry. So what I'll do now is get everyone set up in their own enclosure. I'm going to get these little ones set up in something small and simple. This type of setup allows me to easily monitor the snake. For now, I'll continue to use paper towel as a substrate. It'll still give the snake a place to hide, but I can also monitor how much and how often the snake is defecating.
Now, because these guys are so small, I'm going to use this little plastic dish to initially set them up in, and then once they get a little bit bigger, I'll upgrade their enclosure.
I'll also add a few little rocks and some fake leaves. And of course, a water dish.
This little one started drinking right away, and it is adorable.
I'll set all of these enclosures partially on a strip of heat tape hooked to a thermostat. That way the snake can continue to thermoregulate.
I'll let these little ones settle in, but we'll check up on them again soon.